Well, I'm really delighted to have with us Barbara Martin Coppola, the Chief Digital Officer for IKEA. Very, very warm welcome. Thank you very much. You have an amazing technological background. You've been with all the usual suspects. Your maths is probably amazingly good, yet you've just come off the stage and you put up a chart that says 1 + 1 = 3. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is we live in a high-velocity world where change is so fast it's almost hard to keep up. And therefore, for companies to thrive today, I believe there are certain conditions. We need to operate the companies with high velocity, and that is about data, software, and empowered teams. But then there is an important aspect, which is to be true to the company's identity, values, and actually having a purpose. And when you combine the two, that's when I really think companies can thrive in this era.
And what's the role of technology in accelerating the purpose of a company?
Technology can actually help accelerate pretty much everything. And so when the values are in the right place and the vision is clear to actually better the world around us, then technology is actually invaluable in order to do that.
Now, when you look at all the various different options that you have, the new shiny things that emerge every day in terms of the technological world, the startups that must be knocking on your door every second with a fantastic idea that maybe you hadn't thought about. How do you prioritize all of that in a way that enables you to scale it for the massive side of the business who you are, but also do things that are very much on the cutting edge?
I really believe in this notion of open innovation. I think that brilliant minds are everywhere in the world, and that IKEA needs to be open to all these minds and what are they bringing to the table. So forming an ecosystem of innovation is a principle of openness that IKEA has embraced. That means that these technologies and these companies have a forum to bring with ideas, and IKEA is a partner to actually help them and also scale them when they go in line with the vision of the company.
And what are the challenges for a small startup that might actually have the most brilliant idea in terms of working with a very large organisation? What do they need to do? What does large organisations need to do in order to make it really work?
Well, for small companies is actually understanding what the big company is trying to do. So it's innovation in the midst of an agenda. And so small companies that are most successful is when they can adapt their pitch into the agenda of the giant. And also understand that the relationships that are formed need to be scalable. That is, having a certain process for the giant to move and being okay with that and actually playing so that at the end the outcome is a win-win for both.
Now, you can't open a newspaper or a magazine without the words AI appearing several times every day. Some people have a very positive view, some people have a view that it's going to transform the world in a very negative perspective. How do you see AI? Is it going to be a fundamental element of your business going forward, and how do you secure that for good?
AI is a tsunami. It is a revolution, and it needs to be managed. I believe AI can be absolutely positive when the human intent is positive. The values with which we operate AI are the right ones. I believe also that AI can be a force for bad. And so there is an aspect of thinking through the power of this technology and actually employ it for the right reasons for our societies, for the planet, and for human beings overall. So it is absolutely part of IKEA. I am personally extremely excited. It's almost limitless, everything that you can do with AI, like from supply chain to serving consumers better to circular economy. It's unlimited. And so when put in the hands of people that know how to manage it, then I think it's a force of good.
And what are you doing in the AI space? What will we as consumers see the manifestation of AI in IKEA?
Well, one of the manifestations is testing actually 3D rooms being proposed to people. A lot of consumers have a little bit of like a white page anxiety feeling on like, oh my God, how am I going to furnish my living room?
It is scary.
It is scary. It's like, I'm not an expert. And so technology comes to the rescue here with AI. It's understanding you and your preferences and actually generating a pretty realistic view of what that living room with the exact measures are. And actually, once this is proposed, being able to swap and to customize to one's liking. That is AI and 3D imagery combined, and it's very much solving a big issue for people.
Now, you must have huge amounts of data within the organization. How you, in the era of big data, how are you harnessing that to improve the business?
Data is by far the most important asset of the company, by far, because it helps us operate the business better, taking decisions faster, more accurately, and actually generate new experiences faster than before. So it is unlimited what we can do with data. Now, with all of that comes the responsibility on how to use it. And there are limits in terms of privacy and responsibility to how much we use what we have in order to, respect and have that trust relationship with the consumer. So being careful with that is important too.
Now, we've all heard the phrase, the Internet of Things. This wonderful connected future has been talked about for a long time and hasn't really manifested itself. You are the creator, producer of an amazing number of items, things, furniture, designs that go into people's homes. Are you now seeing that the Internet of Things is becoming more of a reality than a wonderful dream?
I think we're doing small steps towards that. And it's very much in relationship with the connected home and actually creating...
But you are the hub of the connected home, potentially. I mean,
we can be. We definitely are the life at home leader in 30 countries. And so we have a very, very important role to play in that space. Now, what I really wanted to say is that for this to really take off, it needs to be simple. And it needs to be also a feeling that data is not taking over my life and is not taking over my home, which is the most precious and intimate setting of all of us. So we need to be extremely careful in the how. And there is a lot of tech companies coming into that space now. And so it's tech married with life at home knowledge that will really actually produce a good thing. So I think IKEA will surprise many in the future.
Well, we very much look forward to that.
Yes.
One last question. Given what you've said, would you subscribe to the view that we're sort of entering this sort of new era of sort of where algorithms and human rhythms meet, and then actually that retail now will be significantly more digital, but is going to feel a lot more human?
I do subscribe to it. I believe that digital is at the service of human beings. Digital should be transparent. It shouldn't be in your face. It should be in the background to actually allow people to have better experiences. So I very much subscribe in that. So we need to actually get to an expression. For instance, I like talking about physical and digital together. How to actually nail that space is going to be fantastic to watch in the years to come.
Well, you're brilliantly positioned in order to do that with an amazing brand like IKEA, with the footprint that it has and the impact that it has on so many millions of people's lives right across the world. Barbara, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.